Greetings, my fellow freedom low sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LL3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Thursday, June 4th, 2020. Yes, I am at Squeeze Pizzeria, located at 207 Southwest 2nd Street in the heart of the Hempstead District of Fort Lauderdale. So they're all like fixing the glass and all that, so it's a minor damage, as I talked about a couple of days ago. But everything's, getting everything going, and we're going to try to kick it back into gear. You always shall survive. And, so everyone's, people are waking up. I've been seeing videos of more instigators and provocateurs, even within the police departments around the country. The criminal elements of the bunch are like stirring up problems and blaming it on the other guy, right? Yeah, and then, of course, I heard about William Barr. I haven't seen a press conference yet about him, with the whole the whole insurrection thing. And, everyone's hitting the mainstream propaganda, garbage media, CNBC, CNN, and all that. And they're making him like he's the worst thing since sliced bread, but the ones they support are exceptional. Yeah, and even Gordon Nordham, the clown from Virginia, the Klansman himself, the proud bigot, the slave master, wants to take down the statue of Robert E. Lee, and all the people are climaxing. Tell them to take out the garbage, but the Lincoln Memorial will stay because it's exceptional. You know why? I know why I say that, because he was a racist. He didn't ever give a damn about the slaves in his first inaugural address. I recommend folks to read The Real Lincoln by Thomas J. DeLorenzo. So if you're going climax and you're going to take down Robert E. Lee, at least that man had honor compared to the stooge that's called the Lincoln Memorial. And it's interesting, people are wigging out over that, but they want to take that down, right? Double standard 101. And this is how I look at things. At least I take the initiative to look at both sides on how this conflict started. The antebellum and all that, all the steps we're seeing right now with this New World Order coup. So don't get too distracted. Look at the fine print. There are many people out there, I notice, they post stuff like this and they wig out, don't even know all sides, but they'll sign the dotted line without reading the fine print. So yeah, I'm going to trap myself. But so, without further ado, I'm going to be talking about something that just popped out from the Florida Phoenix, where everyone's talking about the whole thing, the horrific event of George Floyd, people kneeling and all that. It's very, controversial, of course. There's a lot of questions, all these claims, but the bottom line is, this is something you're not going to be hearing about from a lot of folks. It's from the Florida Phoenix, and I'd like to thank them for putting it out. This is by Michael Mullen. It's Moline, hopefully, but I'm not butchered his name. Florida Supreme Court kills proposed constitutional amendment to ban assault weapons. It should be semi-automatic weapons, not assault weapons. See, a little bit flamboyant, okay? They get the suckers to read this. But you know what? That's just how it goes. Fish you in. But this is really interesting here. Conservatives of the Florida Supreme Court disqualified a proposed assault weapon ban for a place on the ballot. Thursday, the ruling that the ballot summary circulated by a group including survivors of the Parkland shooting would mislead voters. This ruling was a victory for Attorney General Ashley Mood, who asked the court to decide whether the ballot summary would mislead voters. Also opposed were the National Rifle Association and the National Shooting Sports Foundation. The group Ban Assault Weapons Now, led by a number of political leaders plus survivors of the 2018 shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, and relative to some of the 17 people killed, was behind the proposal. Also in favor were the Brady Center to Prevent Gun Violence and Team Enough, a youth-oriented gun control organization. And don't get me wrong, it's still disturbed about what happened over there, okay? There's some beautiful people who got murdered, and the heirs are, of course, natural reactions to these things. And it is disturbing, okay? And I'm not gonna be blasting those individuals, but the organizations, most of the organizations, yeah, I can call them out. But Ted Deutsch runs is involved with Ban Assault Weapons Now, right? So I'm going to continue on here. Proponents have collected 174,564 signatures thus far, enough to merit the court's review under the rules governing proposed constitutional amendments, but well short of the 766,200 needed to land on the ballot. But the Florida Supreme Court killed the proposed amendment. This is what it says. The ballot summary informs voters that registered assault weapons lawfully possessed prior to the initiative's effect date are exempt from the scope of the initiative altogether, which misleads voters to believe that any lawfully possessed assault weapon will continue to remain lawful, the court said in an unsigned opinion. However, the initiative contemplates the eventual criminalization of the possession of assault weapons, even if the assault weapon itself was lawfully possessed and registered prior to the initiative effective date. And it's interesting if you read the if you read that aspect, the ones that are exempt from it are government workers, officials, government delegates, including police officers, government employees, and military, police officers, all that. They can have it, but you can't. So the police state ballot, okay? This amendment, so that's totally police state 101. But I'm going to continue on here. However, if an individual registers and attests to lawful possession of an assault weapon and then lends gifts or leaves in the will that assault weapon to a family member or friend, then a family member, a friend, would be in a criminal violation of the initiative, a felony offense, the court said. And so, yeah, I'm in the pizza place, so sorry about that. So, just trying to help keep some business here. That's all good. All right, the court said, joining the ruling were Chief Justice Charles Kennedy and Justice Ricky Polson, Alan Lawson, and Carlos Muniz and John Counsel, placed on the court only last week by Governor Ron DeSantis, did not participate. Since entering office of the governor has cemented conservative control of the court through his appointments. Bethna Francis, another DeSantis employee, won't join the court until September, when she will have belonged to the bar for the required 10 years. Judge Jorge Lombraga, descendant waiting the court, has never demanded that the ballot summaries, which are limited to 75 words, offered a comprehensive description of what an initiative would do. The language at issue, he wrote, is not affirmatively misleading. In fact, the language is accurate, and the majority simply concludes that the language is insufficiently narrow. Proposal would have amended the Florida Constitution as follows. The possession of an assault weapon, as the term is defined in subsection, is prohibited. The Florida accepted as provided in this subsection. This subsection shall be construed in conformity with the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution and interpreted by the United States Supreme Court. It defines a weapon as semi-automatic rifles and shotguns capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition at once, either a fixed or detachable magazine or any other ammunition fielding device. Well, I've read the ballot. I did a show on this like around November of last year, November of 2019, and when I read that thing as an entirety, and it doesn't matter if you're for or against. You have to look at things in the bigger picture, because what this actually amendment does will contradict Article 1, Sections 1, 2, which is basic rights, 10, prohibited laws, 17, excessive punishment, and 23, the right of privacy. Remember the whole right of privacy thing. To be very frank, if you remember the abortion amendment that got ejected because that right of privacy law can be affected. Like it or not. It was ejected because it conflicts with that. And it's doing the same thing with this. So this is how you got to look at these things. And what I'll just add the Florida Constitution in here as well. And in addition, it can boldly affect the state militia, which is able-bodied individuals will get on the governor's call when they're ready to go. And in addition, this separates from the National Guard. So this is an actual unconstitutional, illegal ballot, okay? Illegal referendum, item, etc. It doesn't matter. So that's how I look at it. And I'm just letting you folks know, sometimes the writing from this gentleman, Mr. Malloy, Michael Malloy, I have to disagree with. He's trying to use the conservative basis, the conservative paradigm. It's not. It violates the Florida Constitution. So these people don't want you to know, but I do. All right? So that will be really it right now. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share this throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, if you send something that's interesting and want to check out, whatever you do, please share your correspondence with decorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnote of this article on my Spreaker page, plus the Florida Constitution, so you can read this yourselves. All right? Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.